Rune Hunter, can you please help? My friend has been captured by the life slave. My feet wouldn't move, knowing that I left my friend behind. All I can do is ask for help, like this. So I'm begging you, defeat the revived, mutated Rune Archer and save my friend!
I had been wondering whether I was going to die here. Thank you for saving me. Did you say Nestle? No, that's not possible. Nestle is the name of a friend of mine who died a long time ago. I know it's nonsense, but why is it that I want to believe you? I want to see Nestle.
Advena is frequently experiencing earthquakes like the one just now. Every time an earthquake happens, the power of serpents grows stronger. The violent life slaves nearby are proof of that. We'll reach Advena soon. I believe we can have a more meaningful conversation with Christen.
Oh, Rune Hunter.
Good to see you.
It took a while, but I'm glad we were able to resolve the misunderstanding between us. We are taking necessary measures with the assumption that Serpens will revive in Advena. Elite knights are scouting every corner of Advena to find clues related to Serpens. So, Rune Hunter, I wish that you will join us in our cause.
Aphros Knights reported that they found the revived King Alden. A knight assigned with the scouting mission will be waiting at Chillwind farmland. Verter volunteered for the task, so join him on your way.
It's a nice change of pace to be separated from Lewin for once. I'm glad that you have a great sense of direction. Lewin always disappears whenever I lose sight of him. But thanks to Lewin, I was able to find places I would have never thought of venturing to. I suppose that's actually pretty nice. Anyway, let's go find that scout.
Rune Hunter, I've been waiting for you. From our scouting efforts, we discovered where King Alden and Queen Romualda revived. King Alden was found in Shelter Plaza, and supporting troops are standing by. Please help them out. Then I'll see you at Sanctuary. Rune Hunter, would you please grant me a favor? I lost my scouting log somewhere around here, but I can't find it, no matter how much I search. There were so many life slaves around, I wonder if I lost it while fighting them. Anyway, if you find it, could you bring it to Knight Hamas? He is the next knight to replace me.
happened to the knights? Well, we should look around. There may still be a knight who survived.
A revived, mutated Rune warrior appeared out of nowhere and attacked the knights. It had unbelievable strength. I feared that we don't have the power to stop serpents.
King Ulden. I remember you said you defeated the mutated King Ulden at the Lost Temple. They say creatures that have become life slaves are stronger than before. Will King Ulden be the same? We are near where King Ulden was seen. Let's be careful, since...
Tears of God. I really can't figure out what it does. Salvis is the one who knows about ancient texts better than anyone. You should ask him about it later. You didn't know? Salvis is the first Zodiac Master of Trom. When Captain Christen gathered Rune Hunters, I decided to join because Salvis was with him. He really is that impressive. I'm sure you can learn much from him.
There's a report that Queen Ramalda revived inside Advena Cliffside Path. Salvis already left. You should follow as soon as you're ready.
This scouting log probably came from Zaid. Thank you for delivering it. Soon I'll have to leave the sanctuary.
I'm a little worried that I won't make it back. Rune Hunter, I sincerely hope to see you again.
Even if you don't remember me, do you remember Gilsey? Gilsey was really worried about you. I think Gilsey was secretly hoping that one day you'd come back to Advena. Things are a little weird right now, but you should show your face later when things are sorted out. Oh, right. Take this. If Gilsey was here, he would have wanted to take care of you. You are our rookie forever. You are the Rune Hunter that came to Advena. Don't you remember me? Everyone from Advena is outside. The Airfrost Knights evacuated everyone. The dead are continuously reviving, so what else can we do besides there's too many earthquakes happening recently? Gilsey really just missed you. It's a shame that your timing wasn't a bit better. I'll deliver your message.
I am happy to see you. I didn't know that the Rune Hunter Christen mentioned was you. Ramalda seems to have revived at the hidden cave at the end of the cliffside path. There's the guard captain who turned into a life slave on the way. So it would be wise to take him out first. Now, let us go. I know having you by my side is already the best support I can hope for. The tears of God lost their light. It's as if someone absorbed the energy within them. The militia captain used the Tears of God to strengthen King Odin and Queen Romalda, and attempted to absorb the power that the two gained for himself. The Tears of God contain powers of the 12 beings and serpents that normally cannot coexist at the same time. As Odin and Romalda were being strengthened by the Tears of God, the power of the 13th being flowed into them. And the militia captain waited until Odin and Romalda, who became life slaves, converted the power into serpent's power and absorbed it. How about we return to Advena for now? We cannot spend much time here. It's too dangerous.
While you were away, another earthquake occurred in Advena. It's good to see you return without any harm. So, what you're saying is that the militia captain deliberately used King Odin and Queen Romalda to absorb the power of the Tears of God? But then why did the militia captain go through this extra process to use the Tears of God? I think there might be a story behind all this that we don't know about. Wait, don't tell me I'm the only one who doesn't know. We're in this all together, you know? Maybe Salvus would know something about it. If you learn anything, make sure to tell me, okay?
The reason he had to go through that process is because the power of the Tears of God cannot be absorbed directly. And the reason why the powers of the 12 gods cannot be absorbed directly is because of the 13th being they oppose, serpents. That's right. The militia captain is one of Serpent's souls that Christen and I have been searching for. To explain everything, it would be necessary to tell the story of what I experienced during the Militia expedition 10 years ago. Before I completed the Zodiacs, I believed I had already reached the end. But what was beyond that light was the beginning of another. As I completed the Zodiacs, the souls of Serpens awakened once again. One part of Serpent's soul that was split into two remained dormant within my rune cast. That soul introduced itself as Dex, and it endlessly tried to whisper into my ears. I have spent my life trying to contain Dex. But then one day, during the Militia expedition, I discovered that another soul of Serpent's had revived. What I found in the battlefield was Serpent's other soul, a key, held within Prince Favina. Prince Lovia was doing his best to subdue Aki, but he was nearing his limit. I could only think of one way to stop Aki. Using the fact that the power of serpents cannot coexist with another gods, I began spreading the plague with the sacred arms of Vesper I found in Bellatus. As the plague spread, the life slaves lost their powers, and Aki was forced out of Prince Favina's flesh. Then Prince Lovia asked me to seal up Aki in his body instead. Afterwards, I entrusted Christen to take care of Prince Lovia, and did everything I could to save Prince Favina's life. But then I realized, after taking care of everything, Dex, the voice which had continuously whispered into my ears, had disappeared. I suspect that he got away from me when I used the sacred arms of Vesper to get rid of Aki. Dex expanded the Redanimo at a fearsome pace, and Aki disappeared after Lovia went missing. Aki and Dex are now taking action to become one again in Advena. I've done everything I could to stop them, but this is now a task that I alone cannot resolve. Will you please lend this old man your strength?
The advance party to the expansion base was defeated. Only a few survived. They say a child adept in magic was the one who defeated the knights. The Rune Hunters are ready to go to the expansion base. We'll move out as soon as you're ready.
Rune Hunter, the child that defeated the advance party, is reported to be at the extension restricted area. According to the Knights, powerful life slaves began emerging near the area, so please, be careful.
By calling out the names of the 12 beings, Zodiac Masters will not only understand the balance that makes up the universe, but also be able to form balance among the powers of the 12 beings they've acquired. For this reason, Zodiac Masters are theoretically able to become immortal, but receiving external forces or using power beyond the limits of a human can shatter this balance and ultimately lead to their deaths.
still people who haven't evacuated. I think the Aefrost Knights failed to spot them. Perhaps we can help them out. If you have the time, try scouting around the area.
I'm so glad. I never imagined that a miracle like this would happen. Thank you. I can finally see my family. Thank you so much. There may still be a few people left in the expansion base. I'll leave those people to you.
I think my thinking has been too complacent. I thought that things would be solved if I just stayed hidden. But no matter how long I waited, the earthquakes didn't stop, and everyone had already left. I was about to give up on myself too, but with your help, how do I even thank you?
If it wasn't for you, I would have died without anyone ever knowing. I will never forget this kindness. I mean it.
The advance party is composed of knights specifically selected by Captain Christen. They learned their swordsmanship directly from Captain Christen, so they must have been talented knights. I can clearly sense that the life slaves are growing stronger as we head deeper inside. The child is just up ahead. Take caution as you make your approach.
Rune Hunter. I've waited for this moment to surprise you. I'm sure you have lots of questions for me. Now I can just tell from the expression on your face. This puzzled look, and the perplexity, with the kindness that still worries for me. Hey! I understand. To you, Rune Hunter, I probably only looked like a helpless child who depended on you. Did you know? We've actually ran into each other before, back at Calicorda. And when I saw those innocent eyes of yours behind the bars, I just couldn't resist pulling a prank on you. I mean, Rune Hunter, I knew you'd do anything to help me out. Although I didn't expect you to care for the greater good when I was dying. Even if you were in a hurry, how could you give all the tears of God to Dex?
It pleases me that you're so naive.
Captain Christen sent out an emergency call for you to come to the sanctuary. We finally found out where Militia Captain Dex is.
I guess it was Dex who took Prince Lovia from the solitary area. Prince Lovia spent years with a key sealed within himself. Even as his soul was being corrupted by a key, he only worried for the future of Traun. Aside from Prince Lovia, there are many who lost their lives because of a key and Dex. We should at least do everything we can for these poor souls. Traces of Dex were found at Pilgrim's Cave. Take a look at the place with other Rune Hunters.
What? You mean Weeper was Aki? Whatever Salvus and Leon said, I thought Weeper was a good kid. And Prince Favina was actually Dex. Do you think those two approached us intentionally? Once you find Dex, make sure he suffers. I can't shake off the feeling that I was fooled by him. I really felt like an idiot once I realized that. I was an idiot all along? Let's just say I was innocent. Anyway, I pray for your safe return. Good luck.
So, this is where the pagans experimented with the plague. The reason why there were a lot of Redanimo followers turned into life slaves was this. Let's move out with caution. But where is Lewin? can't believe it, but I think Lewin got lost again. How did Verter make it with Lewin until now? This place is like a maze, so you should be careful not to get lost. If you happen to find Lewin, please look after him. I'll keep an eye out too.
Rune Hunter, a plague variant that became a life slave, has dragged my fellow knights away. Ruthless. To the forest without even having a chance to resist. Please defeat the monsters and avenge our friends.
Hunter. It really hurts. Sorry that I couldn't do better. I should have been the one to protect. I'm saved! I was about to give up hope of seeing anyone again. You remember I made it to the camp without anyone's help? So I boldly tried my luck again, and I didn't expect to find myself lost in this maze. I wonder where I messed up. Oh, I was told the Dex is at the baptism room. Let's get going.
Life slaves under Dex's command were too strong. Many of the knights fell. I am both sad and angry. How come my strength is never enough?
Why are you making that face? I thought you would be happy to see me. Please don't think ill of me. I was only being faithful to the memory Aki gave me. At least my actions were truly based on the memories of the actual princes. Is there anything more important than memory when you're trying to steal someone's fate? I think it's a much better standard compared to appearances, which can change. Don't you agree? Well, In that sense, there's nothing worth believing in this world. Just like the 12 beings of Tron that are said to have created this world. Evil cannot have children once it's born, or so they say. How does that even make sense when I already exist? Don't you think it's time to accept the facts? The light of the 12 gods. Just because I was born from its dark side, I was split into two. Just like the princes who were split because of the conflicts within the Triad Kingdom that seemed peaceful on the outside. You will also realize it one day, Zodiac Walker. That the light you had believed in this horrendous world was in fact the void all along.
They say Aki and Dex are at the Constellation of Authority together. No wonder they disappeared so easily. They say Salvus already left for the Constellation of Authority. We should return to Advena and join with the others.
Christen rallied the remaining knights and followed after Salvus, and the Rune Hunters seemed very tense before the fight. I know there really isn't much I can do right now, except stay by your side. But I just wish I could do anything to help you out, even if it's trivial. So, if you have anything to ask of me, just tell me. I'm done with my preparations, so we can leave whenever you're ready.
Hunter, we will handle things here. Make haste to the constellation of authority. Salvis is facing Aki and Dex all alone. He may be the Zodiac Master, but his opponent is the evil God. They absorb the tears of God to become perfect. With that power, they will attempt to merge as one. We've already lost so much, we cannot lose any more. This is not an order, but a request. From now on, do not let anything go easily.
careful!
I'm fine. I'll look after Pan for now. Hurry. The 13th being, the Serpens, must be stopped.
We will meet again soon.
You did well, Rune Hunter. This should put a stop to the Serpents issue. But it would be foolish to only celebrate the victory at hand without knowing when evil will revive again. So, head to the village named Saluto, near Advena. In the past, there was a device built to advance the Zodiacs. It is said that it was designed to materialize the abstract concepts of the Zodiacs into reality. With the device, one will be able to understand the Zodiacs and gain combat experience at the same time. Now, prepare yourself to go on a new journey. Let us meet again, even stronger than we are now.
Pan's breathing normally now, but he's still unconscious. I believe my powers are not enough to look after Pan. Why don't we seek out the doctors of Ordemus? Talk to me after you take care of your business, Bellatus. I'll make the necessary preparations.
With Serpents gone, the red moon in the sky disappeared. Corpses that turned into life slaves lost their strength and started to collapse. Christen announced the location of Saluto and the Zodiac development device to all Rune Hunters of the Trom via the Rune Hunter Guildmaster, Camilla. Since then, Saluto had an influx of adventurous Rune Hunters surging in to take on the challenge. Yet, the whispers of Serpents still linger within you. Although you still do not fully understand what it could mean, you sense that your journey has not reached its end just yet.